I'd like to welcome you to our headquarters, located in Freeport, New York. It's 14,000 square feet, filled with state-of-the-art salon, barber, pedicure, you name it, it's here. We have 26 barber chairs on display. We do design, we do layout, we do lease-to-own programs for barber shops. Please come check us out, pay us a visit, and you'll even get to see the museum soon. We have vintage furniture that's been around forever, and we're going to share it with the American public.
No problem. I shall transform your hair, create a masterpiece. I am an artiste with a pair of scissors.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop.
Fresh from the barbershop, fly from the beauty salons.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop.
I got a show where you can listen and view.
My new cuts got him talking at the
Bringing
barbershop.
barbers and stylists together with the ScissorSalute.
My new cuts got him talking at the barbershop.
One cut, two cut, three cut, four. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Nails done, hair done, everything did. Oh, you fancy? Spending hours in salons on your hairstyle.
For the Lord protects his barbers and he makes the stubble grow.
Scissor! Salute! Salute! You guys caught me. It's a live show, but I just got posted the link to the ScissorSalute show on every outlet that I possibly could. Welcome to the ScissorSalute show.
Salute.
I'm your host, Elada Barber, my co-host.
Blazing Blush, thank you for joining us today.
Blazing Brush, ready to fade in the rush into no time.
Bars.
I just feel like, I feel like there's got to be some bars when they get introduced. The show was co-produced by the co-owner, New York and Queen, produced by the owner, Sefro. We're broadcasting live via StrongIsland.tv via Paradise Studios. And LA is on the boards. Let's get into the meaning of the ScissorSalute, which is a gesture, compliment, greeting, lifestyle, and brand dedicated to bringing barbers, hairstylists, and makeup artists together worldwide. And we use the ScissorSalute show as an outlet to actually make that happen. Every Monday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we give the opportunity for the visual artists to come down here and showcase their skills live on the ScissorSalute stage while conducting interviews with them and phone calls as well, so you can find out how they got started, where they currently are, where they plan to be going on their journey. Now, this is the age of the independent educator, and we no longer have to rely on big companies to give us gigs for education. We can go and educate amongst ourselves. Now, if you feel like, hey, you know what, I can do that, and you don't know where to get started, and you want to try it, then you know I can't lie. It's not for everyone. You might hear his voice on the microphone. It might throw you off. You might feel the heat when the lights are hitting you and you got a lot of eyes on you. But if you want to give it a run, give it a test, you can email us, ScissorSalute, or if you want to advertise with us or book us for an event, again, showcase or be interviewed, you can email us, ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. We'll get back to you in the order that the email is received. Thank you for using our hashtag. We're still growing. I checked it last night. I believe we're up to 675,000 on the hashtag ScissorSalute. And, we try to go through the ScissorSalute hashtag as much as possible and give likes and all that other stuff. I tell you this much, we got some pretty big pages using the hashtag. I'm like going through the hashtag and I'm like, oh, men's hair using our stuff? Using our hashtag? Well, ScissorSalute to that. And that's another thing about when I say ScissorSalute to that. It's great that you ScissorSalute myself and the rest of us here at the ScissorSalute show, but it's really made for the profession to greet each other, to say hello, even to acknowledge someone's work, or to thank them on social media. That's how you would use the ScissorSalute. Like I would say, I would like to ScissorSalute out uppercut for the beard trim,
ScissorSalute.
So I'm giving you a sample how it's used instead of saying, SO, because the ScissorSalute is for the profession. And I definitely like, I'm telling you, Al had it like a barbershop up in there.
He had a Liddy.
Yeah, he had a line up in there. I actually had to make an appointment with him.
You had to make an appointment.
Well, I was about to get in his chair, and I was like, joking around with him. To me, I feel like there's 2 reasons why a barber might not give good haircut.
What are the 2 reasons?
1, or should I say number 2? We'll go 2 and then go 1.
Okay.
2, they're hungry.
But
That might make a great barber only give a good haircut. So instead of giving a 10, they might just give a good haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And the number 1 reason why a barber might not give a haircut as good as they're supposed to is they have to use the bathroom.
So they're rushing.
When nature calls, they might not give that good haircut. So I was like, yo.
But why? Like, if I have to use the bathroom, I stop. Like you
stop doing a haircut.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's different. Some of the barbers might be on some old, bro. Really? Yo, you stop doing a haircut.
If you have to go,
yo, man, it's not professional, man. It's not professional. Oh, trust me, I've done it before. There's 2 things that's gonna happen, and I don't want that other option to happen. I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Right, exactly. That's my thing. Either you want a good haircut, or you want that 10, or you want a good haircut. If you want that 10, then you let me use the bathroom.
Well, yeah. So I asked him if he wanted to do that. He did that, and then came back at 6, and took care of me. Did a great job. We're gonna get a little bit more into BarberCon a little bit later. So again, if you're looking to showcase with us, advertise with us, or book us for your next event, or to be interviewed, you can email us ScissorSalute@yahoo.com. We will return. We will get back to you as soon as we can, and we look forward to anybody email us. We look forward to having you here in the studio, just to get you a little bit familiar. Familiar with the show. I can say, confirmed, we've had Japan in here, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, and I'll say about 30 of the states of the United States in the past 5 years. In August will be 5 years. So over the 5 years, but I ain't gonna lie, majority of our traffic does come from New Jersey.
That's facts.
New Jersey and Connecticut just be like, ooh, 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 ooh. And then we got people from Long Island that are like maybe 5 towns over. Yo, it's too far. Bruh. Really? Okay, so let's get into a recap of last week's show, which is crazy because I didn't even see Trims. Didn't even see him there.
Oh, he wasn't at the show.
I didn't see him at BarberCon.
Maybe he went today.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. So ScissorSalute presents Trim's Barbershop, located in Freeport, New York. Showcasing, we had David, cuts by D3rd. That's right, cuts by D3rd. Okay, so what he did here, and what Dave came down here explaining, one thing I can remember Dave, keep this picture up for a little bit. He shared with us his story of being a mechanic, and that's what he was doing at the time. Stuff happened, and he lost his job. And then he turned to barbering. And he talked about, and he shared his story about the struggles of when he first started learning how to cut hair. Because here is the sad reality when you start doing hair. The money's not going to just come that fast.
Nope.
It just doesn't come that fast. But if you stick to the script or stick to a plan, stay focused, the money will come. And this guy is successful. He talked about how professional he keeps it in his place, jazz music. And one thing that really stood out with Trim's Barbershop, which we'll be getting into that a little bit later, and hopefully I told him to send that video in. I believe it's August 18th this year, if I'm not mistaken, 18th, 19th is Saturday. They do cuts for $1. You heard me? Cuts for $1. And salute to Dave. And also showcasing Natalie. Her IG handle is Nat_curl_junkie. She is like a natural hair queen. She really prides herself in natural hair. One of the things that she talked about is the consultation. What is it called when you first sit down?
Consultation.
Consultation that she does. Thank you.
You had it right.
With everybody pretty much that sits in a chair, whether and you know, especially when someone wants to make an extreme change, and she favors natural hair care. Well educated, originally from Maryland, and that's one of her things. She is a barber that went to college before she started cutting hair. And she said it like 3 or 4 times on the show. I don't know the exact number, but I believe I'm going to say it's over $20,000 in debt she was talking about that she's taking care of right now. And she said it, she has no problem saying it because it's a constant reminder of how hard she has to work to take care of that. I was like, oh, that's a great story for her to share. And, you know, some people might just know they don't want to talk about it. So she braids hair. She's branding herself as the braiding barber of Long Island. So
she braids too.
Yeah, so ScissorSalute to her and the natural curl junkie.
Before you talk about the next person, for those of you who don't know, in the state of New York, with your barber's license, you can automatically apply for a natural hair license. So you don't have to like.
Yeah, she has that.
Yeah, so you don't have to go.
She's from the LIBI.
Okay, so you don't have to go to like another program to get your natural hair care license. You can just apply for it after you get your barber's license, which a lot of people may not know that. So if you're looking to get into natural hair care, just get your license and then start working on it.
And in-studio guest, owner of Trim's Barbershop, Trims. Simply known as Trims. I believe his name is LeVar. I'm remembering. You guys got to remember, this is a live show. I have no paperwork in front of me. I do have the IG handles of the guests, but I do remember that. And Trims, I met him a couple years ago. Linda Eisner from Graph Etch brought it into the studio. ScissorSalute to Trims, and I believe he was at BarberCon today, maybe doing some work. And we also did an interview with Callan. His IG handle is Kingdom_owned. And we had a call in from Demi Mo, true pioneer in this business from Harlem. I forgot to ask him about cutting Judge Mathis, because I know Judge Mathis was out there one time, and I know he cut him. I wanted to talk to him. But he did tell us a story about how he went over to Europe, and he was on tour, cutting, oh man, I can't remember the R&B singer's name. I don't want to mess it up. So he's cutting R&B, was it Babyface? Okay, no, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So he's cutting R&B singer's hair over there, and Europe has more power in their sockets than we do over here. So
right.
his buzzers pop, boom, pow, boom, it's done, got a little Kevin Hart for you right there. So it's gone, and he ended up just putting a razor. Oh, go ahead, take it. Why not? Hello, you're live on air with the ScissorSalute show.
ScissorSalute.
I don't know why you hung up. You called and you hung up.
They hung up.
So, yeah, he ended up doing a haircut with a razor over comb.
The whole haircut?
The whole haircut. Well, half the haircut. His buzzers pop halfway through the haircut. And just goes to show you knowledge is key. What I mean by that is, you're like, well, you know, it's just buzzer over comb. It's buzzer over comb, but also knowing about your arsenal, knowing about which combs are what, knowing that if you take a flat top comb and you lay it up against the canvas, that is a number 2 guard, and you take fine tooth combs and just different techniques. The comb that goes from fat to thin, using that for fine detail, even on different texture hair, you know, knowing to go open blade over the comb or closing the blade or even just putting a big guard. It's just knowledge is key. Who do we have in the studio this week?
Okay, so this week we have Aiden Hollister, and his IG handle is Aiden Hollister. And they are coming from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm guessing
Atlanta.
I'm guessing they were here for BarberCon, so ScissorSalute to them for coming through. Also, we have Barbara Streisand.
Oh, I seen that name and I was like,
that was clever. That was clever. So Barbara Streisand, IG handle at Barbara_Streisand, STREISAND. And calling in from Florida, we have Alexis Nagdal. And okay, this one is going to be a long one. This Instagram is One Bad Mother Cutter.
shut your mouth.
So let me just give you that IG handle. The number 1 bad MUTHER CUTTER.
And we'd like to salute her and also
Salute
salute Barbara D from Florida right there. And she's an educator, exotics member. She's, giving back to the business. So let's get to my pictures. As you know, what I've been trying to do every week, oh, this looks pretty cool too. What I've been trying to do every week is I just pick random pictures that I see on Instagram. And there's this one I picked. Let's go to the 4, and I'll talk about the one because we were just scrolling through IG right now. And I'm like, oh, look, that's one of the ones I'm going to discuss. Let's go to the 4 pics right now. LA, hook it up. Here we go.
Oh,
Bam.
that was color?
Yeah. All right, so let me get, because I got some sort of notes and stuff. Okay, so this is the one right here that I was talking about. But I promise you, when that picture comes up, you're going to be like, whoa, okay, Eli, okay, you got some good taste. Okay, so this is coming from Javi_nice. That is JAVI_nice.
That's dope.
Take a look at this design. You go to his page, he's going to show you step by step how he did it. And you're just going to be amazed about you could do it too. It looks complex because it's done really neat. Javi, I'm not taking nothing away from you. You nailed it right here. You nailed it. If I tell you this much, if there was like, let's say, haircut of the month, like you ever see plays of the week or plays of the month with sports, design of the week, I'd even give design of the week. I'm giving this to Javi's nice right here. This one, simply because if you take a look,
he faded.
Everything's symmetrical.
Yeah.
Now, right over the ear, if you're watching this right now, what he does, he did the mandala, the design over the ear. Mm-hmm. Then he skinned it right over the ear like he was doing the edge up, and then just brought it up a little bit higher. And then he faded out in a circle. He faded that. Then to make the design stand out a little bit more, in between the top points, he faded it.
How?
And to make it even stick out that much more, he gave it a detach, starting from the forehead all the way back to the nape of the neck. So but he has the whole process. Check him out on Instagram, JAVI_nice. Check him out. Next picture, please. For the second week in a row, we got Gaines the Barber. And again, you can go to Gaines the Barber on his Instagram. This is just a picture. He has the whole procedure how he did it. Now, one of the reasons why I chose this picture to come up there, because the man is honest. On the left side is what you see before he did the enhancements.
Okay.
And I'm not even think it could be he did it and then he had to add a little bit more detail. But obviously you can see that the left side is hair, and then on the right side he added a little bit of enhancements. But look at the way it is popping. Look at the way it's playing with your mind. 3D design on the canvas. That's the coolest kid in his school. Like, he's walking around, you can't tell him nothing. I know if I had hair and I'm walking around with that design, you can't tell me not a damn thing. I got a 3D design in the back of my head. Move out my way. I might be walking backwards with that design. Okay, maybe not. So ScissorSalute to Gaines the Barbers. Check him out. GAINSTHE Barber. That's terrible that I don't know how to spell barber. Next one. LA, and thank you for separating the barber and the hairstylist. And here we go, braided and blonde. We gotta get her here in the studio. I checked her out. She's from Connecticut. Now, why did I choose this? The pastel coloring right here. You can see the pastel coloring. It's somewhat like, what's the color? What's the color right there? It's right there. It's used a lot of weddings and proms, this color right up here.
That looks like
velvet. Nah.
Lavender to me.
Lavender is the word. Yes, thank you. So she has the lavender, and it's almost like going down to vanilla. You see the tips?
Yeah.
I know it's white, but being that it's
like
lavender,
an ombre.
Exactly. The pastel lavender comes down. To me, it's not looking like blonde. In my mind, I'm thinking vanilla. And as always, one of my favorite braids, the fishtail, and it's topped off with this disassembled on the bottom. It's like dismantled. Now, if you're a hairstylist or barber, you do hair and you're watching this going, Eli, why are you praising the fishtail? The fishtail braid is a very effective braid to do. And obviously, you can take a look by the picture. It makes that much of a difference. And then you dismantle it on the bottom and you disassemble it on the bottom. It just shows, it's just giving you that touch. Like it's clean, but then it's disassembled a little bit. You know? Oh, you got mic'd up? Yeah. Okay. So then it's clean, but then it's like disassembled just a tad, and you love it. It's just like, it's just looking good. I talked about this for the past couple weeks. If you notice what's going on here, barbers and hairstylists, you want to get reposted, even with the 2 pictures that I just posted up with the barbers, that the pictures are not just being done in a chair no more. This picture's taken outside, it's focused in, and the background is blurred out. If you don't believe me, check out Barbershop Connect. He reposted up Bree Lynn from Jersey, I believe her name, from Jersey, on the Barbershop Connect page, and it's a picture in the taken in the barbershop, poor lighting, great haircut, poor lighting, and one of the comments really stood out, and it was just like, if you're trying to showcase and create, either generate traffic to your page or get clientele off your page, then why not take the time and invest in a camera, or at least take the time to invest in taking a picture. You know, maybe you don't have to cut every haircut that comes in your chair, but when you have something, take the picture. And as you see right here, the haircut is the hairstyle is really popping out. ScissorSalute to braided and blonde for the color and the fishtail braids. She got a lot of fishtail braids on there, and she even has, which I was gonna put up here, but it's just, you know, she has an infinity braid, which I'm loving these infinity braids and fishtail braids. Next picture, please.
That color is...
I spent a lot of time on that one, but it was worth talking. I couldn't get the lavender going. It was right there.
You did it, though.
Yeah, okay. So now here we're going to Caitlin Ford Hair.
Sarah, color's your specialty.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, we got Sarah Jane colors in here. Sarah, you know what? I'm going to take my little info. My little info is what I'm seeing now with hairstylists is it's an action shot of the hair in movement. Mm-hmm. So now it's it's stepping up another notch now with hairstylists. This is not the first time she's done this. I feel like she's one. I don't know if she started this, but I've seen it a lot on her page. And now hairstylists are doing that more, where the hair is actual in action. She has, I think she got like a couple boomerangs on there, video. But it's the hair in action. You can see the color in action. Sarah, you want to take us through like the color that you see right there? Some of the colors you use, maybe it's some of the technique. I do see texturizing. She texturized a lot of that hair.
One thing I do want to point out is the same hair color. What I like is she did it straight. And then if you go on her IG page, she did it like curly. And then she brushed it out on the IG page.
Okay,
so she had like different styles going on with that one color. But I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. How long do you think something like that takes?
Hours.
Hours?
Probably all day.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Sarah's been here on the show, and ScissorSalute, I'll get that information from her. So Sarah's been on the show here before. She actually, and it's crazy because I was just on Facebook, I'll say about 3 months ago. It must have been the anniversary that you were here on the show.
Yeah.
Because it came up in rotation.
I think
And when I checked it was like 7 million views, even higher than that.
Oh, really?
For the leopard and zebra print.
The safari park, yeah.
Yeah, 7 million views.
No, I think it was 70,000.
No,
Even still, that's huge.
it's
Really?
up there. I'm telling you, I was like, whoa. I was going to send it to you. So she's been on the show before, showcase, and then I didn't even know that you were going to be on the show, and I had featured your haircut. The same way I just featured the 4.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were going to be on the show. So here's the thing. She's here right now, and I just spoke about it on basically all 4 of them haircuts. How now, you got to step it up another notch because there's a lot of people that are nice. There's a lot of hair gurus out there that are just really good. The separation that I'm seeing is, number 1 is really like getting into the picture. Like the picture that I featured with her, black cape, black background, light hair. It was pastel style, and it made the picture pop. Makeup was on point. The makeup was on point with it too. And it's like, Eli, well, you talk about makeup. Well, it was like art. The picture to me wasn't just hair. The picture to me was like a art. It stopped right there from the lighting, background, hair, makeup. Now, obviously, you're putting that in rotation. How important do you think it is for someone to do that now, to generate traffic in their chair and generate traffic to their social media outlets?
I think it's like super important. You're going to get clients that way, and then you're going to get more features that way. And the reason why I did it that way was because it was for the Vivids entry, show us your Vivids, and you had to show like the 3 different sides. So I knew I had to show her face. I had to submit a before picture as well, so I had to do all that stuff. It actually took a lot of time.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I see. Well, I see that.
I wish we had. You still have the picture?
Oh no, I don't. We don't have the picture, but you feel free to say Sarah Jane. It's Sarah Jane Colors, but you spell colors Australian. Really, she does.
Yes, Colous.
And the only reason why I know that is because Nadine Donovan. That's how it's spelled over there in like Europe and other side of the pond. See? So, and I know that because I said Nadine's been on the show. But on top of that, you're a hairstylist. Now the Hair Jam. Hair Jam is coming up.
In 2 weeks, it's June 24th, and I will be a guest judge on Hair Jam.
She's going to be a guest judge on Hair Jam.
How
does it feel though? Like it's in Tampa.
It's in Tampa. It's actually in St. Pete, but we consider it Tampa Bay area.
Okay, so how does it feel like? I remember you came on the show, you did the safari thing, which was, again, crazy creative. Guys don't know she did the leopard print with a piece of celery. She took celery and was actually doing the leopard print, and at the time, and it's still going on now, like the hair color, the zebra and the leopard, it was like done underneath the hair, like. So you had like regular hair, and
so
then
you could hide it, or you could show it off if you wanted
exactly.
to.
You can hide it while you're at work, and then when you go for like happy hour, you can put your hair up, be like, look, I got a zebra and a leopard over here. I'm safari, I'm ready to wild out. So, from where you were at that time to where you are now, even being a guest judge at a hair event, that's got to feel good.
It feels really good. Like, I just got the text message, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And do you have the date? Do you have the information for it?
It's on June 24th. It is called The Estates. It's downtown St. Petersburg. And Chica Boom will be the host. Bones will be a guest judge, as well as Angel Ross, the color expert, and Abby.
Abby. She has one of the best names.
Who's
Abby
Chica Boom?
Chuelas.
Is that
Boom Swirl.
Chica
okay.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay,
Chica
okay,
Boom.
okay.
she go boom. It's great to see, you know, what's going on in Florida. I got interviewed, I'll say about 3 years ago, and someone was asking me the best states, and I was like, yo, I don't know why no one really talks about Florida. Florida's got some barbers, man. Speaking of barbers, Marvin Marv too. And I seen him at BarberCon. It was
There was a lot of Florida barbers at BarberCon.
there was a lot of California barbers.
Yes,
How was it? Did you have a good time?
I did.
Also, let's do the recap of our BarberCon right
Let's
now.
talk about it.
I met a lot of people there. A lot of well-known, like Sophie. I love Sophie.
It was like a celebrity thing with her.
Yeah.
And Jay Majors too.
Jay Majors
Oh,
was
James
there.
okay.
Andy Authentic. And then I ran into friends I knew from Florida.
Yeah, I seen Mark.
yeah.
I seen Mark the barber there too. I asked him about I'm not gonna mention the shirt that he was wearing, but I was like, "Did you just get picked up on free agency?" He's like, "Nah, it's not with nobody. I'm just supporting him." I'm like, "Yeah, but you know the event that you're at. Of course, the event you're at. Everyone's gonna be on some more. Oh, you with that now?"
Might happen.
Well, you never know. I do know one thing. I seen a lot of people walk around with them Babylous equipment. And one thing I did not know, I gotta go to my
I wanted to get the rose gold clippers, but they were sold out.
Do they sell them like at a discounted price?
I think so.
Okay.
It's somewhat of a discount price, but I'm telling you, the way them things were moving was just out of control.
So you tried it? You were able to try it?
Yeah, I think so. I spent most of my time at the Maestro's booth. But I didn't really. I walked around, seeing a couple of familiar faces, but I want to get my beard done, and Al was there. But oh man, I gotta try to find. Okay, that's why I put the advertisement up on the page, and I'm sorry. I believe his name is Dennis. Is that his from Babylous, Seth? Dennis? Yes. Okay. So I see him. I'm like, wow, man. I'm like, yo, I was talking to someone like, yo, this is Dennis. I'm like, you ever see him do designs? He educates on stage, platform stage for Babylous. He'll get on his knees and stuff and start explaining it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, right. He gets on knee and he's like, and then over here, and he's does these designs. Now, some of the designs the average barber's not going to be able to do. We know this. He's very detailed. Everything's symmetrical. To me, the point that he's showing you is how sharp and detailed you can get with the liners. That they're so sharp, I can do this design right here and not even use a razor, and you're going to get these nice crispy lines. That's going to attract people to want to buy the tools to do the edge ups.
Do you know if they adjust them or is out the box like that?
You know what it is? Majority of barbers adjust them. But I'm pretty sure they come sharp out the box. I know the couple of the buzzers like Magic Clips, the Walls Magic Clips, I took them right out of the box. The Babylous FX 673s, I took them right out of the box. And it was able to fade with them. I made adjustments later on, but I was able to get busy with them. But the point that I'm saying with Dennis is he said he's retired. He's now designing the clippers and help make clippers with the company. And I'm like, that's right. Jay Majors posted you up like 3-4 months ago, and he had like the gold buzzers all around him, like 8 of them. And he's messing with the power. He's messing with the internal motors and stuff. So ScissorSalute to him. He said he passed on the torch. I just told him I think it increased his value for the future. Like, oh, we want you to get back on stage. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. Might be a little, might be a lot.
Do they charge? The barbers charge to get on stage?
You're working. You're working.
Yeah, they get the whole trip paid for and everything.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I didn't know like they charge.
It's not that it's charged. I guess he's with the company, so I'm pretty sure they have a fee for the platform artist. You get a certain amount of money, and then I think you get a little bit kickbacks on merchandise that you sell at the booth. So But either way, it's a win-win situation. So at BarberCom, I got a chance to walk and talk to Lee. And we had the Family Feud booth. Some of the barber questions were wrote here at the ScissorSalute show. We submitted the questions. So I'm sitting there watching it. And he asked, name the busiest. So here we go. You name the busiest day of the year for a barber. Busiest days.
Christmas.
Ding.
It is. It's Christmas.
That's one of the answers.
Mother's Day.
I would say probably New Year's.
Back to school.
Ding. Okay,
Thanksgiving.
well, I'll take that submission right there. Ding.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
New Year's is not busy. Everybody's
Well,
going
because
out
it's
for
so
New
close
Year's.
to Christmas, too, so they're going to get it, like, in one shot.
There's one more answer,
There's one more.
and it's a surprise. You're gonna be like, really? And I'm
Valentine's Day.
gonna- oh,
Really?
Hold on, was that 2 X's or 3 X's?
that was
Yeah, we
that
got
Wait, okay,
lost.
so it's
No, everything I said
it's
was
Memorial Day.
Memorial
Really?
Day.
Memorial Day weekend.
I don't think
Now-
I work on Memorial Day.
You see,
I gotta
now
start.
one of the
We
reasons
worked. We were open.
one
but
of the
it wasn't
reasons
that
why
busy.
I said that is because here in New York, we've been waiting for summer for so long. When Memorial Day came, it was like floodgates in our barbershop.
You know what?
It was-
Thursday was busy for us. Thursday, but by Friday was busy, but Saturday it's like everybody was already gone, so it wasn't that busy
Yeah, well,
on Saturday.
to me, I put Thanksgiving as the busiest day. Thanksgiving is the busiest day because that's when everyone's coming back from college, and there's no school, no nothing.
Till
Yes.
January.
So Thanksgiving Eve is the biggest club night of the year.
Oh,
So it ends up rolling over to, So we submitted the questions. We'd like to thank Lee from Barbershop Connect. And, I got a chance to run to Harry Houdini and congratulate him in person on his award.
Harry is doing a lot lately.
Yes.
I ran into him, too.
Yes, and
He's a good
Maestro's
guy.
Classic was there as well. It was great to see the Maestro's Classic doing work up in there. ScissorSalute the Ghost, the Barber Maestro page, Al Uppercut, and the Authentic, and everybody behind the scenes there, Baron and Demo that were there on the scene, and everyone that was just there working, Joe the hair surgeon, just, keeping it trucking, keeping it moving. Yeah, I seen Vel Cuts. He was at, yes, Esquire Groom, Vel Cuts. I seen Kennard, too, Paul Jones, and I went to the King Midas booth. King Midas, the King Midas booth just seems to be always moving. Always moving right there.
They always had
they have new
somebody in the
capes?
chair.
They had a Canada cape.
Okay.
Was the new cape that I seen. Canada cape. I seen a couple barbers from Canada, and I said that they're like, Canada? I said, I know it's Canada, right? But if you take that good old Caribbean, Canada. So, seen them over there, and I seen Willis the Barber. Willis the Barber, again, the guy has his own sneaker with Feli. He has his own signature sneaker. So it's like, he could be like, okay, LeBron got with
That's
Nike, KD, Jordans, or do you want to get a pair of Willis the Barbers? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
big,
He's
yeah.
able to say that. He had them up in there, he was wearing them. And who was wearing them? Dante. Dante Financial was actually wearing them
Was
too.
he really?
Yeah, he was
Is
wearing
he
them.
the first barber to ever get a sneaker deal?
I'm gonna say yes. He's King Midas
So
had a
salute to
pair.
that.
King Midas had sneakers, and you know who else had sneakers? Lay Wright. Lay Wright had an exclusive pair with Vans. But Willis the Barber got his own signature and well connected. So ScissorSalute to Willis the Barber, and we just keep it moving. So how was your take? You took any classes? You seen anybody?
I can't wait. I missed my class.
No.
New
It's
York
that
got
New York
New York
train
got to you,
stuff,
huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna blame it on the train, huh?
No, I
would've
Everybody
blamed
blames
it
it
on
on
you.
the train.
that was true, Sarah.
You took the Milli Vanilli route right there, except you switched the rain and blamed it on the train.
I'm gonna blame it on the train.
All right.
It's the truth.
Oh no, but they do run a little bit late. We actually got there super duper early. ScissorSalute to Boogie's from Boogie's Barbershop. One of my mentors, one of the barbers that taught me how to cut hair. I actually got to travel with him, and he got such a nice vehicle. I swear he does, man.
What is it?
He got a Cadillac Escalade, the 2017 new body style. I love them cars. I do. So got to ride with him and got to spend a day with him. Had to spend a day with Justo the guard from my barbershop, the shop that I work at, the shop I work at. And it's good. It's good when you see someone from the shop, like my shop, going there. With Justin, he's only been doing hair 3 years. He's already master barber and an instructor. So he's taking a different route. And he was sharing with his students yesterday, very important. I feel like his story is very important. He was sharing, and it's hard to share this story, of when he was cutting hair in the shop, because he was somewhere else, and then he came to our shop. Now, I'm not tooting our horn, but you come to Jedi Barbershop. Just listen to the name, Jedi Barbershop. You know, it's got to be a Jedi to be in there. It's a tough crowd. It's a tough crowd. Like, even if you're great barbers, whatever, and you mess up a hair, leave a line in the head, crooked line, we gonna let you know.
You wait till the client leaves, though, right?
No,
they
we'll
put
do it
you
right
on
there.
You put you on blast?
We'll put you
God.
on blast where the customer won't understand. We'll be like, look at the hairline on him. The customer ain't gonna know what we're talking about right there. Or we do the whole.
Of course they no.
We do this right here.
Okay.
But
all right.
sometimes that needs to be done because.
Yeah. Well, the
Yeah.
customer anyway. So
I
Justin's
don't know.
cutting
I
this
guess
guy's.
I'm a girl. I'm sensitive. Like.
Oh, you might get it. Okay,
I
so
know.
I'll text you then.
I'm
I will
very
text you then.
sensitive. Like, don't.
I'll text you.
Don't put me on. Yeah, please. Don't put me to the
Yo,
side.
Yvette, look at your phone. You be on Simone. You can look at the phone. You be like this. Look. Oh,
Oops.
where?
Start crying.
You left the line. There's a line right here. So he's sharing his experience while he was cutting the guy's hair. The guy was like, "Yo, I left my something in the car." Gets out of the chair, takes the cape off, leaves $20 with one of the barbers outside, and goes, "Yo, man, I just can't do it. I can't sit in that guy's chair."
Really?
Yeah, that hurt his pride. That hurt. It hurt. Because, you know, he came in with the title Master Barber. So he was like a master barber and then came into the shop. He wasn't like an apprentice in the shop and then went and took his master's. So he came in with the title Master Barber. But I feel like it was important because he's sharing that story with his students and letting them know that you just got to keep striving. And just and he was letting them know that that didn't stop him from still pursuing how to be a barber. He then went to a different shop from the minor league system and, you know, took in some shear work or whatever. And then when he fell back, he came back to the majors. He got called up, like, you know, getting called up to the Yankees. Came back in the barber Jedi. And one of the things I say, man, he's just, if you're there, you're going to make money. If you're there, I was talking to a couple of barbers from Cali, because California was in there thick at BarberCon. I was very surprised. I'm like, damn, Cali? All over the place. So ScissorSalute for the support. Coming over there to BarberCon. You're going to get Zeke. Heavy Hitters was there.
Rufus.
Jay Sharps, the lineup, AA Straight
So it was
Razors.
packed.
It was.
Yeah, so I was talking to a couple barbers from Cali, and 5 years, 7 years, 3 years, all this different experience like that. That's how long they've been cutting hair. And I'm not just saying I've been doing this 19 years. And one of the major rules doing this, you don't have to be the best to make money. You don't have to be the greatest to make money. That helps. Being able to do a great haircut helps. But it's not going to help you if you can't be reliable and consistent in this profession. This is a profession of reliability and consistency. I constantly say that every week because it is so true. Okay, let's take that phone call.
Oh, that's my bad.
Hello, you're live in here with the ScissorSalute show.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's kind of I couldn't see the option for video.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all right. Just, you know, chat like this. I don't know. You were supposed to Skype, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's keep it like this, because you know you got to be in some good Wi-Fi. If you're not in good Wi-Fi, it's really not gonna work.
Yeah.
So who do we have on the line? The name, please.
Me? This. This is One Bad Mother Cutter.
Watch your
Hey.
mouth right
Ooh.
there. It's a G-rated show right here. So again,
How are you guys?
we're doing good. Just to get everybody familiar, we have one Bad Mother Cutter on the phone, calling in from Florida, educator, just a straight hair guru. I believe you have a topic that you want to talk about.
Yeah, you guys asked me to discuss what had happened in Orlando with the whole industry changing and everything, and I think it's great that the industry is changing the way it is, but you walk in there, and my first experience was, this is my second show being not educating, so it was kind of a relief to just go in and learn and see all the new things coming up. And when I walked in, it was a barber's world, which is great, that the barbers are coming into the shows, into the hairstylist shows, and sweeping people off their feet. But the thing is, when the hairdressers go to the hair show to get stuff for hair and there's no companies there, then we get a little frustrated.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big problem. Going in there, some of the big time guys were not there, and it's frustrating because you go in looking for these classes, looking for these deals, looking for these hands-on training, and it's not available. So it was a little bit disturbing, walking in and just seeing basically combs, and that's what hits you first. A lot of the distributing companies, selling the combs and the flat irons and all that stuff. That's great. But when it came to specifics for hairdressers, of course there was classes and hands-on stuff, but it wasn't what you're used to, and I think that's a big issue in what's changing.
Yes, men's grooming seems to increased double. It's funny that you say that, because I said that with the IBS hair show that is up here. The IBS hair show as well in New York City had more barbering than I've ever seen. I went to the IBS hair show. I've been going to that since 2001. 2002 was like my first one. And there was barely any barbering up in there. I mean, Babyliss was still Ford Flex or something like that. Vortex
Right.
or something. Babyliss wasn't even around. Conair was, selling like a Ford Flex, something like that.
The Vortex.
Yes. And there was barely any barbering in there. Now,
Right.
you went in there.
4 years later.
Yeah, well, this is actually 15 years later. You're seeing, lay rights up in there. There's barbering education everywhere, and it's just good to see. I feel, and then you see hairstylists too that want to do it. I feel like that's one of the reasons why too. Like hairstylists, they through their workplace are getting educated on the coloring and texturizing and the balayages and stuff. I think these big expos and these big events know that hairstylists are always craving information, and that's information that they're not familiar with is with men's grooming.
Right.
So
and another thing that I saw a lot was a lot of young educators that, they didn't have the terminology, so a lot of the people in the audience were like, what? So, with that, I put it on the companies and not training, their people the right way. And, I'm not saying any names. I'm just saying that a lot of these kids think that, you can just run up on a stage and just show what you got. And it's not like that. You got to go through the proper training. You got to go through the correct terminology to speak our language. And I think that's what I said on the post, that, these kids go up on stage and they're saying, well, the bottom of the neck, in the front, on the sides, in the back.
Oh yeah,
and,
I feel the same.
I'm there in the audience, and I'm just feeling bad for these kids, for these guys and girls that are up there, and it's like, what? Speak my language, like turn me on with terminology, like let me understand what it is that you're talking about, you know? Talk to me in degrees and let me hear what you have to say without sounding like you just literally came off the street.
Oh no, I hear what you're saying. Here on the show, it's funny because I've picked up terminology because of the show.
Right.
You know,
Right.
You know, I've always talked about it here on the show. In New York, we don't have to go to barber school. You can learn in the shop. And I'm a barber that learned in the shop. Started with the broom in my hand and ended up with clippers in my hand. So
Right.
I've got asked to do a couple fade classes. I'm like, I've taught plenty of barbers how to fade, but I didn't know the terminology. And I just remember like
Right.
literally going on the class, and just like Googling it and just checking out pictures. I'm like, wait a minute. I've been calling this the bump on the back of the head for I don't know how many years. That's in the sip of the bone. What? Parietal ridge? I call that a point of no return. If your fade goes up to the parietal ridge, it's either a military, a cop, or a point of no return. And then the crown of the head. I'd be like, I used to be like, don't pass the fade on the top of the head, otherwise you can expose their thoughts. They ain't gonna be able to keep a secret.
I blame that on the schools too, though.
I was just about to say that.
Because I just got out of barber school. And a lot of the things I'm learning now, first of all, you didn't have to get the textbook in my school. You know, it was an option. Yeah, it was an option. You could get it, or if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. But a lot of things that I'm learning now is because I'm in the shop. So like my brother, you know, when we were talking about facials, because we do facials in the shop, and he's like, the piano motion. So I'm like, the piano? What's the piano motion? Because they just
So
said
you're in a barber shop or
yeah, I'm in a barber shop. But you know, they just said padding and you know rubs. They didn't use the right terminology. So I think it could be the schools that aren't teaching the proper terms. And it is true though. You should be using the proper terms because you're educating. So you can't teach if you don't know. So you're definitely right about that.
I also feel like the shows are starting to track back to, and my mother's a hairdresser, and I spoke to her about it, and we were talking about how, you know, 30, 40 years ago when she was going to the hair shows, that's how it was. It was just small booths, and these companies were small, and it's just, you know, 10 years back where these companies have grown to the mega, kind of like the mega churches, you know, the mega companies where, yeah, they will take over because they've been there for so long. And yeah, they will pull out because they figure that they can spend more money on private education, you know, doing these hands-on classes outside of the shows. So I think I had spoke to someone who was with Paul Mitchell, and they had said that that's one of the reasons why they spent over $3 million, you know, setting up these booths and paying out their employees and, you know, doing all these things. And they'd rather just offer a more quality class over the flea market.
Yeah.
So I think that's another reason why a lot of the bigger companies have pulled out, is because they're past that. You know, they don't need that exposure anymore. You know, their names are so big that, you know, people look for their private classes. And I think that's pretty dope too, you know, that it's kind of starting all over again to where it's a new age where the new guys are coming in and starting to be, you know, the new Paul Mitchells, the new TGs, the new Goldwells, the new Swatchcloths, which none of those companies were there at the show.
Well, I know out east here on Long Island, there is a hairstylist. She's I cannot remember her name, but I know she has a spot in Manhattan, a great location in Manhattan. She's friends with Mary Brunetti, who was the first female to win the NAHA award.
Okay.
This is when they told me the story. Her and her husband, Michael Brunetti, were telling me about how they used to have to submit pictures, like an actual physical portfolio. Now everything's like digital portfolio, and you know they actually have to print them out and send them to these companies.
Right.
But when I worked there for one summer. I'll say about 8 months I worked there. And they were telling me about a class that the lady offers. It's like $4,000, $4,000 or $5,000. But you stay there. It's like you stay at her house. She has like a separate, like, barn hair studio, and it's like you're staying at an exclusive Hamptons location.
Wow.
Camp.
And you're doing hair one-on-one with this hair extraordinaire.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And there's we interviewed a couple people, and they talked about it too. Not that lady's location, different locations. Like I think there's a place like, I know when you educate for a company, I know that for a fact that you, just like she said, it's like protocol. They fly you out and you have to stay, and they're going to teach you the terminology, they're going to teach you the language, they're going to teach you about position in the body, because everything has to be like a franchise. You know, you can have your own little style, but you still have to have the same presentation and be on the same page as the rest of the educators. So they're talking about being out, at a place for like 4 or 5 days. I know Babylus, before they put you out there, it's the same thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They bring all the educators whenever there's something new.
And it made it much easier, If you work for the company, obviously, well, that's a whole other topic right there, because a lot of the smaller companies, they want you to come out, but they don't want to pay for you. But they're giving you the exposure. So when you go with the big companies, they'll give you the exposure as well, and they'll pay for everything. But of course they can pay for you. Of course they can afford to pay for you. But they're slapping, you're able to slap a nice name on the end of your name. So, I mean, it's give and take. If you want the exposure, so bad that you don't want to be with a corporate company, then you're going to have to pay for it. Like everything that's going on this weekend at, BarberCon. There's a lot of people that wanted to go out, but they got upset because certain people didn't want to pay for them to go out. And it's like, you got to pick and choose your battles. Do you want the exposure? Do you want to be seen? Then you're going to have to pay for it. If you hit a certain level in your career where the company comes to you, then hey, then you're golden,
It's funny that you say that about pick and choosing your battles. Is absolutely correct. I feel like if, number one, I'm going to give everybody some advice. If you're a barber, number one, you have to check these events that have gone on for multiple years. So if you check a yearly calendar, and I'm going to have to say yearly calendar, you have to plan it that way.
Yeah.
You'd have to say, wow, okay, the CT Barber Expo is on its, 8th year.
Right.
The San Antonio, Texas Barber Expo, that's going on how many years? I mean, we're not talking about like Orlando Premiere and IBS. Those are given right there. And when you have a chance to experience Orlando Premiere, those are givens right there. But when it comes to barbering, it's different. I definitely, if you're a barber and you skipped out on BarberCon, you skipped out on a lot.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a beautiful event.
You missed out on probably some of the best networking opportunities you would ever get, because the way it was set up.
Right.
The setup had you at the same level as all these people.
Yeah.
So I would say someone like, okay, we talk about Sophie, right? Sophie walked in that door. I would almost guess it took her 15 minutes to walk 20 feet.
Right.
Because I was one of the people that stopped her, too.
I would say it took her 15 minutes to walk 20 feet.
Yeah.
It was like paparazzi. And then at one point I'm walking around, I see Kenny Duncan talking to iCup Pro with Mike Sharp there, and a couple other great barbers, Marcus Harvey. They're all in like, that's a cipher going on right there. That is something you don't want to miss out on. Exactly. And it's also something that you don't want to miss out on because you don't have to pay for it. You're not paying for that round table discussion. That round table discussion is being said right in front of you, and they're not going to tell you, "Hey man, we're in a huddle, leave."
Yeah.
They're gonna still talk in their cipher in the huddle, and might even look at you and make sure that you're paying attention. So that's stuff that you miss out on. Like I said, I'm probably seeing about 20 to 25 people from California. I met some barbers from Trinidad and Tobago. There was barbers there from Brazil.
Oh, wow.
There was barbers from across the pond. Barbers from Hawaii. There was barbers from Hawaii there. Now, I know Hawaii is part of the United States, but
That's a long
it's far away.
It's far.
It's far away. And then again, I'm
Yeah.
trying to show like a little bit of love, because New York, you get no love. I'm sorry, New York, we get no love. But I'm still trying to show them that I'm like, hey, listen, you want to come over here and take a picture? Come over here and take a picture. That rail is there, but we didn't put that railing there. That's part of the building. You want to come over here and take a picture? Just tag the person that you're taking a picture. I would at least try to do that. But the point to what I'm saying is, I agree with you with picking and choosing your battles. And for anybody who is watching this show right now and just getting into this profession, this wave, and I still believe that this profession has yet to even peak. It's just rising straight up.
Yeah,
Like
it's about to hit a whole different set, because I saw when I was in there, there was a lot of the IG starstruck people. I don't want to say this without offending anyone, but it's kind of went se pasó, like it was over them, and people were running up to certain people to take pictures, IG, and it was kind of like disheartening, because it was like that, what you felt at BarberCon this weekend, like the connecting, the networking, the one-on-one, like at a hair show on that level, I think it kind of dissipates. It disappears in a way that you don't, because it's such a huge scaled show. There's so many people that I wanted to see that weekend that I didn't get to see because it was such on a large scale. Now, events like BarberCon, CT, Barber Expo, all of these events are so awesome because it is on a smaller scale, and you do get to have that interaction with other people, with these people that you follow and you see them on a daily. Now, I feel that, there was people taking pictures, asking for IG, like I said it before, but it was almost, and I'm saying this again because this is the future. It's all about the post, and I had said it before too. Like, you need a freaking degree in photography and marketing before you even get to your own page.
I was just,
so for the new kids that are coming to the block, the new educators, what I have to say to you is, please stay humble. I think my friend Esco this morning posted something about Mr. T shoes, and I thought that was so dope. Like, Mr. T had all this gold around his neck, but he still had these broke down shoes that helped him to remember where he came from. And I think that's very important for these newer educators to just remember that, just remember to be humble, and remember that you only got there where you're at because of the networking that you started, how you started. Just remember where you started from. And personally, I pulled out from the scene about 2 years ago because I had some things that I needed to take care of. And another thing is, I get hit up about 2 to 3 times a month of younger educators asking me how it is, how's the game. And I always say, if you have a family, if you have a spouse, you just have to put them first. Like, let this work, because this will take over. If you don't have those things and you just have a boyfriend or a girlfriend that are willing to accept that traveling life, then it's for you. There's some people who are beasts and can handle both lives. I'm not saying I couldn't handle both lives, but at this point in my life, like my two little angels, my girls, they're getting into an age where boys are gonna start coming around, and I can't. My husband can't do that by himself, So we are a team, and I had to put into perspective what I needed most right at that time. Definitely. And I feel that a lot of people don't do that. They don't see, hey, and they'll put their all forward. They'll put their work before their family, and I'm not hating on nobody that does that. You pick and choose what you want to do. Just remember, when you come back home, who's home? You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost half of my book traveling. I'm going to be dead ass serious. I lost half of my book when I was traveling, and it's taken me almost 2 years to try and bring that back up. So for all you young educators, young barbers, young hairstylists, makeup artists, everyone who's in the beauty biz, if you're looking to educate with companies, understand the responsibilities that come with that. There's big responsibilities that come with it in all angles. So that's my little advice for what I saw, last weekend. And I mean, it's universal. It goes along with any profession, but just with that, a lot of these companies are bringing on these young educators, and I just hope and pray that they prep them for what's about to happen. Because in 5 years from now, like, think about it, 5 years ago, I was traveling all over the States going over there. Now I step back, and now there's a new wave, from I would call it the graduating class. From my graduating class, they're all up high on high mountains, and that's great. That's great for them. But for me personally, I had to take care of some things, and just to put that into perspective.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's all part of it. We've had educators come here on the show, a couple of people that, accomplished a lot of things, and, they talk about it all the time, the ups and downs. Even Marv,
right?
He had a great caption about 2 or 3 days ago, you don't see when you lose your luggage, like on Instagram, you're just putting up this positive stuff. You don't see when your luggage gets shipped. You're in California, Southern California, and your luggage went to Northern California. You got a class in about a couple hours. The stress that goes into it. Clearly understand that. But let's just go over what we discussed here real quick. If you're just tuning into the ScissorSalute show right now, we got One Bad Mother Cutter calling up from Florida. Wanted to talk about the shift in the profession, what's going on with these trade shows, and how it's going to leaning towards men's grooming, and some of the educators that are out there right now. Not that they're doing a bad job, it's just they should do their homework, and for those that are successful, stay humble. Pick and choose your events. Again, CT Bar, I don't know if last time you've been to the CT Barber Expo, but he changed the venue, right? The size of the CT Barber Expo now, to me, is almost equivalent to the size of the IBS in New York City. It's there.
I heard,
there.
yeah. Jay's done an amazing job. And I heard they're doing it up in Las Vegas too, so that should be amazing.
Yeah, I know the one in Connecticut, we talked about it, how great it was, and everyone was like, Eli, wow, it was that good? I was like, it was so good. The way he had the food court set up was even better this year.
He had a food court?
But you have to understand,
he didn't miss a beat. He didn't miss a beat. And I got a chance to talk to Jay Majors yesterday, and he wanted to have a discussion with me, but mad people came up, wanted to take pictures. I'm like, I'll take the picture for you. It is what it is. But we had a chance to talk, and hopefully the ScissorSalute will be getting involved with the CT Barber Expo 2019. I told him something that we talk about how people don't know this. If you don't know this, he opens up the vending in July. And you can get a discount on vending boots in July. I know that because it's near my birthday. And I took a family vacation, and I was like, oh wow, he's putting the vending booths up right now. So we're gonna be dropping that date. Thank you so much for calling up here. If you're ever in New York, we'd love to have you come down here in the studio. I know you got some fam up here somewhere. You gotta have some fam up here. And come up here with bring your brother-in-law too. Bring Barbara D up here too.
Yeah, Dave's doing good.
Dave's doing, man, and we love Barbara D, love Dave, man. He's one of them guys, man, one of them real ones. And we'd like to salute you. Before we let you go, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us now. Please do so now. The stage is yours.
Sure. This is Lexi, One Bad Mother Cutter from South Florida. if you're in the South Florida area, Coral Springs, Margate, Boca Raton, Parkland area, you know, I'd love to get in touch with you guys and do some hair. So again, that's at One Bad Mother Cutter.
All right. All righty. So thank you so much for calling in. We're gonna talk it up with Sarah right here and wrap it up a little something. Sarah, right here, color specialist. What colors do you see trending right now, at least in your chair?
In my chair, it's mostly ombres and balayages. We're not seeing the fashion colors.
No, well, the fashion colors is more for show.
Yeah.
There's not too much mermaids and unicorns walking the street.
And it's the upkeep, too. I think they don't like the upkeep.
Yeah, and there's a lot of color correction, a lot of money in that color correction.
And they don't want to. I'm in an area where they don't want to spend the money. That's just what it is.
Well, yeah, that's why, hold up, you're a barber as well, so you're not letting any money. You still got that guy that comes into your establishment, the older guy?
What older guy?
Isn't there like an older guy used to cut?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, he actually got sick. So I had. You know what's crazy is like that dude. He'd be coming to my birthday parties and everything.
Yeah, because it was almost like on today's episode. You know, today's episode of Sarah Jane right here, you always put him up, and
that one's Artie.
Okay.
Artie Fletcher actually is a comedian, and he tours with. I'm having a brain fart. He used to be on Law and Order, like the old school Law and Order, and he's
Yeah, but I remember you
He
used to
cuts
be
hair
like,
too, or he's one of your clients?
He's one of our clients at the shop. He's like crazy. He's got a foul mouth. He's super crazy. Yeah.
And you cut your son's hair.
I do.
Your son's hair's on point. But one of the things you see, she doesn't want to miss the money, so she educated herself on men's grooming. And I feel hairstylists have a little bit of advantage because, again, you guys are always seeking education. You guys always want to download data, and it's a transformation to just getting used to the buzzers, and you got to just get your mindset that you're not holding buzzers. The buzzers are an extension of your hand, and it just comes to eye and hand coordination. I feel.
One thing I want to say about that, and it's amazing that I went to BarberCon, is because I got to meet Tyreek Jackson. I love him.
Me too.
Yeah, he's a great inspiration. He actually started out as a colorist. And he told me that. And then he showed me pictures from like 2004, 2005 or something like that. That looks like it was taken like yesterday.
Yeah, he's very precise with it. And ScissorSalute to him. You guys don't know, the man back in, I believe, was it 2000? It's about many years ago, won the Bronner Brothers. He won like 16 racks at the Bronner Brothers. He won some serious pesos for doing hair. And,
right, because in PA it's a double. You have to do cosmetology and barbering.
Yeah, well, that was New Jersey. New Jersey just got like barber schools going. I know that because we just had Exclusive Cuts come over here. Ray Lansky, and he was now a barber instructor over there. But it's just great to see everybody progressing. The profession is definitely moving forward. Of course, you're going to have people disagreeing, and you're going to have people who don't want to go to events, and you're going to have your co-workers telling you you're wasting your time, or one of your closest friends saying that you're wasting your time. And then you're going to have somebody in like California liking your pictures, telling you how much they motivate. You motivate them, and such an inspiration. It's, that's just what we're living in. But I'm telling you this much, the profession is still going to be progressive. Did I just make the bars? Another set right there.
Always.
So Sarah, thank you. So you're gonna say something?
Yeah, I didn't go. I didn't go.
I don't know why you didn't go.
I'm gonna tell you why. I haven't gone to any shows yet. For one, we work Sunday. The only time we're closed is Monday. And two, I feel like I have so much work to put in. I just started, so I feel like before I can even go to any of these shows, I still have some.
Oh, so you want to earn your stripes?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I feel.
There's nothing wrong with that, but don't ever miss BarberCon again, especially when we trying to do.
Talk to my boss. We work Sunday.
Bring him, tell him to come
Paramount
down there.
Styles does not close for BarberCon.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for coming over here. Before we let you go, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and all your social media information that you'd like to share with us, and event information, please do so now. The stage is yours.
Okay, my Instagram is Sarah Jane Colors, and I spell that COLOURS. I don't have much coming up except for being a guest judge at Tampa Bay Hair Jam, and that is June 24th.
I'm telling you, she's humble.
And you
We're
do
talking about-
microblading. You
she-
didn't talk
I'm
about
getting
that.
into it. I'm still working on that.
I'll be seeing you, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to like focus. I want to focus on the eyelash extensions before I get into microblading, but I don't want to put that on my Sarah Jane
yeah,
Colors page. That's on a separate one.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
She's not trying to miss no money.
Yeah.
She's gonna
I'm
be doing
using
nails
my
next.
own-
She's not listening to
Actually,
nails.
I did nails before,
Bruh.
You do nails too.
She's
but
not trying to
I don't
miss
want to touch
no money.
feet.
I got you.
okay.
She's doing someone's hand. They're like, I'm hungry. I got you. I'm also a chef too.
I fed somebody the other day at my chair because I went vegan like 2 months ago, so they were asking me questions and I chopped them up some chicken lasagnas.
You be walking through Whole Foods and Sarah, you be on the counter wearing an apron? Eli, you have no idea. Just take this lettuce and stuff over here.
Yeah.
Take some kale, spinach, some
Yeah.
zucchini. You know the meaning. Okay, we're gonna get into this footage right here. Barber Maestro.
That's just a panel, so that's just a flyer for them too.
I know, that's so we could do a change, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what I was gonna do. Thank you. Except for that's what I was going to do. Okay, so I gotta get a little bit close up on here. I do have the LASIK surgery, but bruh. So here it is. Respect my craft, Caesar. His Instagram is JoelStyle1234. You should have a Puerto Rican flag with him too, right next to his name. So Caesar and Caesar's from Levels Barbershop. Antonino Lombardi, Nino the Nice, works exclusively at the Speakeasy Lounge with Maestro's Classic Company. They have a Speakeasy Lounge at headquarters. They're going to be heading over to Milan, Italy, June 24th and June 25th, 2018. Now, Joel Style 1234 doesn't know that the whole family was wearing the Respect My Craft shirts yesterday at my son's championship game. And we'd like to scissor salute and congratulate the Clippers 10 to 11-year-old indoor champion, and congratulate the coach, Henry Ford, and the rest of them young bucks that came down. But I just wanted to let Caesar know that we were all wearing the Respect My Craft shirts. LA, definitely don't want to put me on because I'm reading the flyer right here. Okay, I know, I see that though. And salute to LA. So again, the date's June 24th, June 25th, 2018. I definitely suggest you go to, if you're gonna be in Italy, definitely go to Nino the Nice on Instagram. DM him for more information. There's no phone number, nothing here on this flyer. So again, salute to Caesar and Antonino Lombardi. We're getting back over chair. Let me take my seat. Oh, snap. Oh, doctor says I need a backiotomy. If I move over a little bit.
Backiotomy. Oh. Okay. All right.
Okay. So hold on. Let me go to the go to Facebooks real quick. I'm joking around with the Facebooks. I know. Every single time I joke around, some people don't like.
Yeah.
Huh?
What, you to go to their Facebook page?
No. No, you know when I say Facebooks, they're like, it's not Facebooks, it's Facebook. I'm like, okay, man, I'm just joking around, man. You taking life too seriously. Oh, Boogie, you know I mentioned you earlier. Salute to wifey. I'm just checking out the chat right here. Salute to wifey Eli, Saleka, Eli and Yasmin. Again, congratulations to my son winning that flag football championship with the Clippers. The Clippers, they did an amazing job. Salute to Henry Ford and all the coaches of the team. The kids are great. You know, they were doing great all season. Salute to Bridget Brooks, Lexi, who just called up, Boogies, Damon Pitts, Paul Jones, Nadine Donovan, She actually she checked in, and I was talking about her earlier. And ScissorSalute to Queen Cortez. If you're watching the show right now, it's a live program for barbers, hairstylists, and makeup artists. If you want to show some support right now, you can press the share button underneath my finger. Around there should be a share button. Press that share button. Put it on your feed. Then you can press that share button one more time. Share it in the groups, hair groups. Press that. Okay, enough. You get the point. Just share the program. I'm good. Just a little bit more. Okay. We're getting a call from the book. Okay, so everybody introduce themselves. You guys take the out here from Atlanta. You guys went to BarberCon or you came to the show?
We went to the
BarberCon.
Yes.
You guys were there yesterday?
Yesterday and today, yep.
I didn't even see
And you
y'all
made
there.
it here.
Really?
Oh, so everyone introduced themselves.
My name is Silas Minion, aka always known as Black Symmetrical or Musa.
This is crazy. I pinky swear. That's not the first time I heard the name. We actually got a new barber in our barber shop, and his name is Musa.
Really?
But when he says it, he got the way he says it, we call him Moonshine. Is the way he says it. I can't remember his name. He's like, no, Moonshine. I'm like, Moonshine. He's like, no, Moonshine. I'm like, yo, we calling you Moonshine, man. Introduce yourself.
My name is Camila Hall, known as Barbara Streisand.
Barbara
I like that name.
like that.
Who gave you that name?
Gave myself
The singer?
that name.
Did you drop the pencil and pen when you walked away?
No, what I did was I actually researched. I looked up barber. I wanted to find a famous barber because I know I could change that to Barber. And I saw Barbara Walters. I saw Barbara Bush, and I'm like, no. Then I saw Barbara Streisand. I'm like, well, let me look her up. And I saw that she was multi-talented and won awards and like a lot of different things. And that's kind of like my life, you know. I do cakes, I do hair. I'm pretty successful.
You
in
do
both.
what? You do hair? What? You do?
I do cakes and hair.
Do cakes?
That's what I
Like
do.
designer cakes?
Yes.
Like Henny cakes? You can make a Hennessy cake?
Yes. I can make a Hennessy cake that'll spew out Hennessy.
Oh.
With the clippers running on the side.
That's fancy right there.
That is.
Wow.
Wild cutting here, you know.
I know, right? You know me, Moose.
Yeah.
And I'm Aiden Hollister. I don't make cakes or anything. I just cut hair.
Hold on. You don't bake cakes, but she made cakes.
Yeah, I make that cake.
Hey.
That's Aiden Hollister.
You gotta have fun when you know what we're doing. It's a live show, so hopefully you found that interesting right there. So how long, we'll start with you right here. How long you been cutting hair?
About 6 years.
Yourself?
About 9. Well, a little over 9.
And you?
Dinosaur age, you know, about 20.
About 20?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's your establishment then?
Yes, it's mine, yes.
Your establishment. So give us a little bit of, what someone can expect when they walk into your establishment. I'm walking into the door. What can I expect to see?
Well, the first thing you're going to notice is that there's a energy, a vibe about the shop. I think the next thing you'll know is that we're like a family. So it's not like we're trying to rush to get your money. You know, you can sit down, you can talk to all the different barbers. Every barber has different personalities. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to see professionalism from a different way. Like some people say, okay, greet you, how you doing, sign your name. But what we do is we try to make sure that you feel comfortable. Once you feel comfortable, you're going to open up. Because most clients that come in, they're nervous, they're scared. They don't know you. They don't know you're the best barber in the world. They don't know you're the worst barber in the world. So what we try and do is we just try and make sure that all the barbers are making eye contact and communicating. And then once they sit down, then that's when the magic starts. That's what separates the barbershop. I mean, everybody can fade to a certain degree, but it's the experience that you have. You know, do you get the customer's name? You know, do you know anything about them? You know, because a lot of guys come in the shop, a lot of girls come in the shop, they have a lot of issues they want to talk about, and they don't have nobody to talk to. So they sit down, they sit in the chair, and they get comfortable with you, and they start opening up. And then that's the reason why they continue to come back. So it's not always about how fast you cut or how good you cut. It's the fact that they can come to you and they can feel like they have a personal relationship with you. And then when you leave, you kindly pay, and then we'll bring you back.
I see that. So, getting that connection.
Yes.
A connection can be the difference between making clients and not making clients.
Exactly.
Just like I talked about earlier, you don't have to be the best barber or give the best haircut to make money in this profession. Your professionalism, your services, reliability, and consistency all play big keys to making or being successful.
And your personality.
Personality, yes.
That's huge because
Yes.
I know, like, I've seen some good barbers, but some of them are angry and, you know, they're not talking, they just, and it's like, you know, talk to your client. Ask them how their day is going. Ask them what they have going on. It's huge. I mean, like you said, they may not be great, but if they have a great personality, you'll always come back
bring
to
them
them.
back. It'll bring them back.
I mean, if you're in tune with your client, even if they're a new client, you'll get the understanding after the first couple comments if they really want to talk or not. Some clients just want you to
Some do.
be quiet and cut their hair. But some clients want you to pull it out. You know, they'll start seeing situations and subjects come up, and I think that's the one great thing about barbershops is a lot of times that it's uncensored, and a lot of clients feel like they could come in and then get things off their chest. And they might not even start with their situation. They may start with another client or a couple other clients or a client that's leaving. And once they feel comfortable, they start to open up. And once they start to open up, that's when you, as the barber, that's when you step in. And that's where you start showing your different uniqueness to the barber trade. And I think that's way more important. I mean, fading is good, but it's to me, haircutting is all subjective.
It's a little different with women, though.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of guys don't want to talk about their relationships and stuff. That's another good.
They're trying to get with you. That's why.
They talk to me. They talk to me about that. Her situation is different.
No, see, I don't know, guys. I don't have that problem. I'm the homie, so my clients talk to me.
Yeah, they talk to me. Yeah.
But like sometimes they don't
Yeah,
because
they
they want to
don't.
see what's going on with you. So they don't.
So, what was your take at BarberCon? I mean, you guys did take came out here. What was your take about the event?
I love BarberCon.
I love BarberCon. BarberCon, to me, I've been to a few shows. I haven't been to a whole lot because, I'm still a baby in the game or whatever. But the few shows that I've been to are more so catered to and I heard the call-in. She was talking about how the barbers are taking over. And I'm like, okay, when I go to Bronner Brothers and stuff like that, it's like more hairstylists. So I'm not really interested in those shows like that. But BarberCon, it's just all about barbering, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things again that I like is that you're right there with everybody. What was your take, Barbara Streisand? What was your take?
I like it. It's with anything, you're gonna have pros and you're gonna have cons. The pros of it, I say, outweigh the cons. The cons are more so, you have big name barbers that just swear that they're just everything. You can't say anything to them. You hide. Their nose is so high, you can't get a word in with them. But the ones that are there, that's humble, that makes it better. You don't have to just, look at it in a bad view because you saw a barber that doesn't want to talk to you. There's many other ones that are out there so humble, ready to tell you, hey, try this method, try that, try this product, and it's so cool. I love BarberCon, and Lee he's the greatest. I mean, he put together a great event. It was bigger this year than it was the other year, so I see growth in it, and I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, he was very calm and smooth.
Very.
He's
very,
always smooth.
yes,
Very calm.
Even on live feeds.
I think for someone who's...
So who did that right there? Who
I did.
Aiden Hollister. That's Aiden.
Okay, so I gotta talk about this.
Yes, please do.
I gotta talk about this. The men's crowns that are being put on there. Because I got hit up from a barber. He DM'd me like, yo, is y'all doing this blank up there? I said, well, I'm not personally doing it, but
The male units, you mean?
Yeah,
the
I'm like,
units, yeah.
you know how much money they paying for that? That's the whole thing. Like, I won't down enhancements. I really don't down Photoshop. I don't down anything. Like, who am I to tell you what to do on your page or what to do in your chair and how to make your money? But I will say this. If you are someone that is judgmental about someone else, you really just need to relax, really observe what's going on, and let Aiden explain how much people are charging for them. What are you charging for that unit?
Anywhere between $175 and $300.
Bruh.
Which that's not bad though. That's
And
not bad.
they're paying for the hair, right?
No. I provide everything.
But that's included in that, or that's on top of that?
It's a custom unit, so I make it right on top of their head.
Wow. You
Yeah.
see that? So.
But it's good money. It's very good money.
That's what I mean.
People fly from all over the place to come and get it done.
But that's exactly what I mean. So I got one barber hit me up like, are you guys doing that blank up there? And I'm just like.
Well, a lot of people, a lot of people hate on change. I prefer organic haircuts, most of my haircuts I want to say like 90-95% of my haircuts are organic. If somebody want enhancements, I can do enhancements. I will charge for those enhancements, and I will get my money for those enhancements. If somebody want a unit, I will charge for that unit. I will get my money for that unit. Whatever it is, I don't want anybody to come to me and ask me for something, and I can't deliver. And I have to let somebody else get that money.
That's exactly what we was talking about with Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane Colors does color. She's a hairstylist, but she's getting into microblading, eyelash extensions, men's grooming. That's it. She's really trying to lock it down.
It's a $1 billion industry.
Never limit yourself.
No.
And,
Never.
you know, like you said, it's an organic haircut, but who's to say that because it's a male unit, it's not organic? You still have to give it a good haircut. It's still hair.
Yeah.
So why should that take away from anything you do?
Yeah.
That's the difference between a unit and a hat, and a fitted hat.
Right, because you can mess that up too.
But see, though, everybody,
you Muslim?
Everybody don't look good bald too. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what if you got a weird shaped head? Or it's easy to say it when you're sitting around with a full head of hair. But what if you start to thin? Or what if you start to lose your hair? Or what if you're walking around with Homer Simpson? And you don't want to have the same hairstyle for the next 20, 30 years. Then what? I mean, like, you can start to get bored with that. So, I mean, there's options out there.
I know, I add whatever I
Yeah,
want.
women forever have been able to have different options.
Yeah.
I think this kind of puts into play different, textures. Like when you're dealing with straight hair, they're able to sculpture the hair different ways. Now, with these units, you're able to give, clients who are thinning or short hair that luxury of having long hair.
I mean, not even that though. You have people that have alopecia, you have cancer patients and everything like that. And if you're smart enough, you'll be able to tap into the insurance money. But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
You're not the first person who said that. Sephra, what's her name that works out here in Connecticut? Toshiba. She said the same thing. Yeah. That's why I said crowns, because I love the way she said crowns. She doesn't want to wait. And she has a different name. Man, Seph, you got to hit her up, Sephra. You got to get that, what she called it. She calls it like a medical terminology. She uses medical terminology when she talks about crowns.
Okay.
And she's able to tap into the insurance that way.
Oh.
And that's a check.
Usually.
But so while you're laughing and saying, oh no, it's a check. So the $300 is nothing compared to what you would get off insurance claims. So come on.
Not only that, but first they laugh and then they do.
Exactly.
You see that in the barber. You see that in the barber industry. And the sad thing about barbers nowadays is that it needs some kind of vindication where there has to be some really popular barber or rich barber to start doing it for everybody to catch on. Where there's what I call the meat and potato barbers who are doing this every day that don't have a lot of followers and likes in mainstream. So what ended up happening is that when the big name does it, now everybody wants to do it. Now it's popular because such and such does it, and such and such does it. And 9 times out of 10, they probably watch the meat and potato barber do it, and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna catch on." Like for prime example, let's look at beard oil. You've had beard oil for many years. Now everybody's a beard oil expert. Even people without beards never had a beard. You know what I mean? It's like once they catch wildfire, and it's probably gonna be the same way with units, the same way it's been with enhancements. Once you catch on, and then a big company say we can tap into it, let's get the hottest barber out here. But they can't explain to you what's in the product. Or they can't explain to you why the product is used and how it's applied and how long it can be used. So it's so many things in barbering that is really good, and there's a lot of things that needs to just be like fundamentally sound. And I think that once we start tapping into the fundamentals of it, I think barbering could take off. I think it'd be one of the best professions in the world.
I think it's crazy. Here goes, the barbershop guys always seem to do this here on the show. Here goes, we had our guests come up here and supposed to showcase, something happened with the models, but we still are able to have like a theme. The theme is progression of the profession, but these barbers need to return back to the fundamentals. And get educated on terminology. And now what you're saying, educated on the product that they're presenting.
Exactly.
I feel it's the same way. I feel as though like there's so many new trends out there, so many new things, and and ventures you can go on with hair. Understandably, fibers, for one, the man units for again as well. I mean, I think that at first you need to find out the fundamentals of it, the base of it, because if you don't know the base or the foundation of it, once that trend blows over, you're just out there. If you don't know how to fade a naturally like thinning head of hair, then you fading something that could just go away tomorrow is totally out. It's no reason for you to kind of go that route to what am I trying to say? Basically, I'm trying to get it together. I'm sorry. I mean, you shouldn't do it. Like honestly, like you should figure out the basics first.
If you want to see some barber geniuses, don't give them a full hairline. Don't give them a square hairline with a beard that goes all the way up like Rick Ross. Find the clients who are thinning or have patches and see how the barber is able to make that transition. Because that's one thing I've learned cutting with the old barbers is they taught me how to make hair that looks. See, you want the client to feel like they're cutting their hair down and it's low because they want it, not because they have to. So barbering is kind of an illusion. So when a customer or somebody across the street see their hair, they say, "Oh, even though it's very low, it's very clean." Some barbers would say, "Okay, I'm going to get paid." Oh,
okay. You want to take that, LA?
Okay.
Hello, you're live on the air with the ScissorSalute Show.
What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Who are you? State your name.
Yo, what's going on? Can you see me?
No.
I can't see you.
But we can hear you.
We can hear you though.
Hey.
Jesse, that cut. What's going on, Jesse?
What's going on? How are you guys?
Doing good. You on break right now?
Yeah, I just stepped outside so I can actually talk to you all for just a second because it's super loud in there right now.
Is still a lot of people there like it was yesterday?
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
There goes that, man. You should have just called up, man. You need that good Wi-Fi. You should have just called. Oh, he's on data?
Yeah, he's outside. He's probably off the Wi-Fi.
All right, well, his data just splattered. Climbing up the ladder and you hear something splatter.
And we're back.
So,
like I was saying, was
basically, I want to continue.
It was
That's good time.
You got to crawl before you can walk. So make sure that you're really covering the fundamentals before you get into, before you go to try to take something in. And another thing, just like Lexi was talking about, and you was just saying, I feel like that's really important. You got to know the terminology when you're explaining hair. You got to be able to speak the universal language of hair. Yeah. And at the same time, what good is it if you're up on stage and someone's going to ask you, well, I have clients that are tender-headed and sensitive skin. What is in that? If they don't know what is in the product that they're trying to sell, again, it's talking about getting back to basic fundamentals. Right. You're talking about fading light hair, which sometimes I call possum hair. I don't know if you guys ever seen a customer come in. I call it possum hair. You grab them liners. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You grab your liners. Them liners are striking. Those are your hitters. And it just starts pulling the hair. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
And you grabbing your thumb. You putting your thumb in there. I'm like, man, you better work right now. And it's pulling the hair. You gotta grab. You gotta go into your tool case. You might have to grab the old buzzers to get through the possum hair. Now you're fading it. You're going through the fundamentals. Yes. And you're like, wow, it's not working. It's not working. Then you're going back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Close. The sweat's coming down. You pull it out. And now that was a learning experience. You know, you might have to go with the grain before you could go against the grain on certain type of heads. And it's just being knowledgeable. One of the things that I see in our profession, and it's great that you're learning right now. I mean, you're still in it young, under 5 years, correct?
6.
6, and you got how many?
I'm 9. I'm gonna be 10.
Okay.
January.
One of the things that's great about this profession is that barbers now are thinking like hairstylists. Where now they want to download data. Well, now they're going to the events, they're stopping, they're looking. They might be a little hesitant because hairstylists will be like, do you mind if I get a little closer? Even here on the show, when they used to be in a different studio, the hairstylists after being interviewed would be, can I go near the stage? Barbers would be back here. Barber showcase, hairstylists on the stage, they're on their phone, chilling. Hairstylists wanted to get up on the stage and actually see that. But now I'm seeing barbers wanted to become educated, taking a lot more classes. So again, the profession is in this type of direction where it's just going up. The younger generation, they're animals now, they're beasts. You got some of these barbers cutting hair for 1 or 2 years coming in there. And
killing it.
Not only
It's the YouTube era, though.
yeah, but not only are they killing it,
learn.
not only are they killing it, the guy next to him is teaching them how to do the man units, the enhancements, and everything else. So there's many different ways. There's many different outlets. Just like you walk into a barbershop, there might be a razor specialist, a shave specialist, and skincare. You know, so it's just different options.
I like to say, I think, you know, I do a lot of feeds on my page on Facebook and on Instagram, and what I like to do is I like to try and explain what I'm doing and why. Why, you know, haircutting is more why instead of, you know, just, you know, showing off. But I think it's important that young barbers, when they come out of school, is what I'm seeing is that because a lot of apprenticeships have been taken away, there's that gray area from when you're getting out of school and you're getting your license to actually getting into the shop and every day having to cut every day, having to stand on your feet 12, 14 hours, having to deal with crying kids, having to deal with thinning clients, having to deal with the egomaniacs, have to deal with the, you know, and then they get depressed or they get lost because they're not getting a lot of cuts because they're watching Barbara Streisand, you know, cutting 10 straight hairs a day or something like. So I think there needs to be some kind of like farm league system, if you will, where barbers can kind of transition. Okay, I'm about to finish school. I need some kind of placement or somewhere where I can go. This is where it could be a shop, where it could be a specialty shop where the students can go where they're kind of in the middle. They just finished their license. So it's a transition stage.
No, I hear you with the farm league system. This is the problem, exactly what you said, where they're looking at Barbara Streisand and they're looking at everybody on Instagram. That's the problem, that they're looking at her and they're looking at Barbara Streisand. What they need to do is just take a couple steps back and go back to what we were doing in the 90s. When we were grabbing someone off the street, yo, you getting a haircut? Nah, man, well, listen, man, I'll do it for $5. And go back to that. Go back to carrying business cards where they're going to go to the store and meet and greet people, shake their hands. That's what they need to go back to. That's what we were doing back in the 90s.
That's a new trend.
I was sweeping hair at the barbershop. The barbershop was over here. We had a shopping center. Sometimes I wasn't cutting no hair, and you're right. I was looking at my boy Juan Carlos, and Juan Carlos, if you're watching right now, I'm trying to get in contact with you. He has such small hands. He made money look so good. Like, he'd count his money. Money looked like this big in his hand. And you'd make like, we're talking, this is back 97. You're talking like $600 Fridays. You know what I'm saying? Back then. And I'm just like, man, I want to get that. I want to get that. How'd I get that? On slow days, that people would be looking at me like you're crazy. Because I'd go, see someone at the dollar store, try to bring them, I'm handing flyers out and bringing them back. Yo, I'll cut you right now. What do you mean? Yo, I'll cut you right now. $5, $7. And you got to take a step back.
People don't like to take L's.
And other barbers in the establishment are going to have to, yo, man, you're ruining it because you cutting the price. Yo, listen, I'm just trying to get this traffic in my chair.
I'm in that stage right now because I just finished school. So I agree there should be like a transition where you leave your school and then go somewhere where, like school, like barber school, where they walk in and they know that these are new barbers and they're willing to take that risk. But what happens in a barber shop is that when you're the new barber, ain't nobody trying to get in your chair.
But here's a trick. If you have someone who really understands barbering from the manager side, the barber side, so it's always a good way to have a barber who's probably been barbering for a long time and is now an owner or something like that.
Right.
What happens is if they know that this particular shop is like this, meaning that it's a transition shop. So let's say you say, okay, we're going to have ScissorSalute's transition barbershop right here on 3rd. So when the students come out, they're feeling comfortable because they know all of us are kind of like rookies.
Right, we're all students.
And we're all students. So so maybe the prices aren't as much as the one across the street. So maybe they're a little half. So you know.
I got a question then.
Okay.
So like, okay, you have that type of shop, right? So do you have people coming in and actually like teaching these people how to cut on the street?
Yes. I mean, yes. I'm saying you're going to have probably extensive. So when you have like
Because
Tyree
cutting in
Jackson
school
coming
and
in.
cutting on the street.
Yeah,
is
that's
two
what I mean.
different
Yeah,
things.
that's right. So that's the experience of the owner of the shop is that he should have people come in who can help with shearing comb or clipper over comb or just learning how to fade in general. You know, different steps, different ways to cut it. Because everyone doesn't have a blueprint on how to fade. Like I have a blueprint. I can explain to you step by step how to fade a hair. But everybody fades different. Somebody else may say that's 5 steps too
But don't
many.
you think that school should do a better job of teaching you how to
That's
cut?
the problem.
But
And you
yeah,
shouldn't
but
have to have all those different
the
steps.
school needs to put in, and then we have a couple people who've been talking about it recently. We have Ray Lansky on here. Tariq Jackson's talked about it. Ruben Navarro from Florida's talked about it in his school. They are implicating actual like barbershop scenarios, like getting you ready for the trenches, not just paying attention for you passing your masters.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what's going
That's
on.
what
And
they
I
get you
can't
ready
really,
for the skateboard.
I can't blame the schools. I can't shame them for doing that because just that's their revenue and that's what they know. That's what it's, you know, that's what they know. They got to pay their bills. But at the same time, the barbers need to take, almost like taking amongst themselves.
Yeah.
They need to take the responsibility among themselves. What I mean by that is, you said it, go to YouTube and take a step back. Go back to cutting on the porch. Go back to cutting on your basement, cutting your garage. You know what I'm saying? A family member comes over, hey, yo, listen, I'm learning, whatever. I just feel like if you got to get it while the getting is good and you got to be a go-getter, or you're going to sit back on the sidelines talk about why me.
I say in New York because I came from corporate, so I'm totally new. You know, my brother's been a barber for 16 years, and he has a barbershop now. But I'll say for a beginning barber, 4 months. New York is only 4 months. 4 months is not enough.
What? No.
4 months?
It's only 500 hours.
Wow.
500 to be a licensed barber?
To be licensed? Wow.
New York.
It did 2000.
It was 2000 in
2000 in
Michigan. They
Michigan.
just dropped it
500
down to 18.
But I also feel that if you are having this transition like school, I'm just trying to create a new avenue, a new possibility.
Okay.
That they should have to, like, when I was doing drums, I used to play drums, and my drum instructor would tell me, you have to be able to do a certain technique in order to advance. So if you're not really good at shearing comb, let's just say it, because you know a lot of urban barbers don't do a lot of shearing comb. They like, you know, schools in Michigan. We was in Detroit, so we wasn't getting a lot of straight hair all the time. So we had to learn on our own. So you got to learn, like you say, with the $5 cuts, or you know, bring a guy in. And most people don't want you to experiment on them, but at the school they should have it like not just passing the board, but learning how to be able to pass that shearing comb. So you got to
Talking about like almost like you got a yellow belt, you got a purple belt.
Exactly.
Right.
Now you got a black belt.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Well, I just feel, you know, it's just different things. It's just everyone's bringing a whole lot of good points to this table. As we're having a round table discussion. This is what happens here. This show wasn't playing. We had a lot of people here. We got someone that's new into the profession. We have a couple pioneers that, you know, have their stripes coming, and 2 dinosaurs sitting right here.
Me and you, huh? We're old, huh?
I'm 40.
Yeah, I'm 40. I'm 42.
Right, good.
40.
He been 42.
40. I'm 40 also. I'm 40 also.
So it's a good discussion right here, and you know, I just feel like I know it's a little harder. I don't know how it'd be, but I know if I was going into a new establishment, I just know I feel like I could set up anywhere. I consider myself a pillar. It's myself, Ivan the Barber One, Chauncey, and Diamond D the Barber at the establishment that we work. We call ourselves pillars. In other words, I feel like I could go into a barbershop that's falling with the roof coming down, and if I set up shop up in there, that's it. I could put it on my back and it's gonna go.
A quick question, because you have what they call the alpha dog or whatever you want to call it mentality. Did you start out like that, or it was a build up?
I can't. All I can say is I got blessed by the barbershop gods. That was it. I was just always in the shop, sweeping, and just was always there. It was my brother's establishment and my boy's establishment at the time. And I was just always in there, so much to the point where a customer walked in, and I was able to say there was a new haircut, then they had the book. Back in the 90s,
Right,
you
yeah,
had
the
the
little
book.
green, but the green.
Whenever new pictures would come
Yeah.
in, the barbers would be like, yo, Eli, go ahead, man. And they'd be like, yo, watch this. I was able to open up the book and be like, yo, he did this haircut. You did this haircut. You did this haircut. I know you did this haircut because this fade is way too high. You know, I just
that's crazy. It's almost like
so this is before I even started cutting hair.
Yeah.
And a customer walked in. The barber didn't want to cut his hair, and he was like, yo, Eli, can you cut my hair? I was like, I don't cut hair. That's sweet. And he was like, man, I'll give you $30. I was like, $30, let's go. Say no more. And the barber that was there, I just set up the 3, 2, and I still use this clip to this day. All my guards are Speedo guides.
Really?
All my guards.
So you doing the double O and the O guard?
Yup, still, that's it. All my guards is Speedo guards. And that was it. I was like, he does 3 on top. You do the 1 right here to this point right here. Don't go up. You do open, close, open, close, open, close. I was done with the hair. It took me a little bit, and there was a lot of sweat going on.
Yeah.
I didn't do the edge up. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I actually didn't do edge ups on my hair, like my first 7 haircuts when I first started working at the shop. Just didn't, you know.
Was you worried about the pushback, or you was
I was worried about the pushback, and then the funny thing is, as soon as I started cutting hair, as soon as I walked in there and I started cutting hair, I automatically had people sitting in my chair. Like, I was 7 months cutting hair, and the dude, one of my first customers was like, Eli, you been cutting my hair for 3 years. I was like, bro, I've been cutting hair for 7 months.
But you know what? That's another thing is that I try and explain to young barbers is that you were there. And they just assumed you could cut. So I tell young barbers that you're in and out of the shop. You don't want, slow days. You hear Marvin say it all the time. You're frustrated. You cut one hair, you're out the door. You're gone. By you being there all the time, and if we're crowded, they say, oh, he looks kind of cool. I seen him. He cuts a nice fade. I'll get in his chair. Or I got a younger brother or a cousin or something like that. So that's how you get on. So it's not about, because in the barber game, most people don't know who you are. That's your biggest weakness as a new barber. Nobody knows who you are.
And I feel like it's so important to not let anyone rush your process. Because what happens to me is, first of all, I'm the only female in the shop. And barbershops is nothing but jokes. So people be like, you still not cutting hair? What you just somebody called me somebody called me a classy janitor the other day. And you know what? That's if for somebody who, and I'm a sensitive person, so usually stuff like that will bother me. But I'm like, listen, this is my process. I'm just starting out. I can't let what you say make me feel insecure about what I'm doing, because number one, I'm helping my brother with his business. That's number one, most important. And secondly, I'm just starting, and anything you just start out doing is hard. You have to go through certain steps to get to where, because Eli has a story, you have a story, everybody has a story where they first started out, and now look where you are. Nobody starts out great. So when you first start cutting hair or whatever it is that you're doing, don't let what other people say rush your process, because then you'll never get to where you're supposed to be.
We got to wrap this up a little bit. I'm going to give you quick gems, and then we can do outros with them.
Okay.
One of the things that you want to, my personal opinion is, before you start cutting hair, good fundamentals, know the difference between a good haircut, bad haircut. Look at some stars and look at some pictures and be like, oh, wow, that's a bad haircut. Wow, this is a good haircut. And then it's almost, I always say, having a certain amount of haircuts on your belt. You want about a good anywhere from 1 to 7 1-ball fades. And then you want another 7 2-ball fades on your belt. Tapers might take you 1 to 75 haircuts. I'm going to say that because the taper is always different. Some people want a high, some people want a low, some people have grains going this way, grains going that way. Just pay attention to the grain. Hairstylists pay attention to how the hair flows. Barbers, we pay attention to how the hair grows. So make sure you write that down. We're going to do outros right quick. Before we let you go, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you, your social media information, anything else you want to share. The stage is yours.
You can get in contact with me through Instagram. I really don't like people on my Facebook, but it's the same name. Aiden Hollister, AIDENHOLLISTER.
You sound famous already. That's a nice name right there.
That's why I like it. But I'm from Detroit. I was cutting with these guys for like 4 or 5 years, and I just moved down to Atlanta. Now I'm at Everything Nice. I've been down there for 1 week, So if you're in the Atlanta area, need a barber, holla at me.
My name is Barbara Streisand. You can find me on Instagram, Barber_Streisand. STREISAND. You can also find me on Facebook, the same thing, but no underscore, just Barbara Streisand.
Right there.
I wanted to end my outro with what she said. Never let anybody rush your process as well. Nobody can rush my haircuts. So never let anybody rush your process. Thank you for
She
saying
means
that.
it, too.
I definitely mean it. Yes.
Or your cakes.
Or my cakes. Just desserts.
You can catch me Black Symmetrical, BLKSYMMETRICAL on Instagram, or Musa MUSSA. Marcellus Minion MIN, like the cartoon characters, MINION on Facebook. I'd just like to say in closing that you have to love this. It has to be within you. I see people who have like it from a lot of money standpoint and popularity, but if you can't wake up in the morning and think of that fade or see it on TV, and it don't feel good when you had that great cut, I don't know. I don't think it's in you.
All right, well, we're going to do this right here. We got time to go out to the stage, LA?
No, just end it there.
All right, so thank you for tuning into the ScissorSalute show. We'd like to thank Sarah Jane Colors for coming up here. We'd also like to thank the Generation Barbershop for coming through, making the way from
Atlanta.
Hot Atlanta. We'd also like to ScissorSalute and congratulate Lee from Barbershop Connect for a great event.
Hey, Lee.
We'd also like to thank One Bad Mother Cutter for calling up here. And I feel like it was a great show, great topics being handled here. If you like, oh yeah, Jesse that cut for calling in, but
yeah, Jesse,
the
call him back.
The Skyping has problems.
We about to come back to Barbercon.
If you like house music, you can switch over to StrongIsland.tv. That my house music is coming up, and it's the best house music there is. Thank you for tuning in to the ScissorSalute show, and remember, StrongIsland.tv. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook. The quickest, fastest growing TV channel on Facebook. ScissorSalute.